Hi. If you're like me, you like the lore accurate Tarnished. I do appreciate the the lone warrior aesthetics for fantasy RPG games. And I feel like using gear from the DLC in the base game, this is the more accurate version of this specific character in general. Alright, let's just get with the armor right off the bat. This is the Raging Wolf armor set, and you get this during the Volcano Manor quest lines. You go to Lanedell once you've completed a couple of these. There's a little hidden round table in Lanedell that you had to go through. You got to find the summon sign, for all the other recruitment missions. You got to beat not only the Raging Wolf himself, but another spellcaster guy. I don't really remember his name at this moment. Once you defeat them, you are awarded this armor and the... I don't know if you get anything else after beating this guy, but you got to alter the chest plate. You don't have to do it, but it does decrease the weight of the armor, but it also gets rid of some of the protection. But again, this is just for general accuracy. Let's just get into the stats so people can yell at me in the comment sections for not having a quote build. I am level 347 in general, and this is just what I've made my character to be for just, general resistances for soft caps and all that other shit. That didn't make much sense since I said that out loud. Alright, so let's just get over the stat pool. 60 Vig for, that's just the standard amount of health you normally get. Or the standard for health that you need. I know people like going lower on health, but then you like to bitch and complain that everything hits you too hard. Mind at 40, so we can use all of our various incantations without really needing multiple blue flasks, even though I have 2 of them. 60 endurance, so we can keep a medium roll and have plenty of stamina. 99 strength. Because when you two-hand a weapon, you will get 147 strength. It's one of the only stats that aren't truly capped off. 40 dex, because we still get some dex scaling for a lot of the gear we're using. And plus 40 dex is just kind of a soft cap in general. 27 intelligence. I know we're not using spells, but raising intelligence also increases your magic resistance. It is one of our lowest stats, even at 27. 60 faith, because, incantations scale off of faith. No shit. And 40 arcane, because we are using status afflictions that, scale off of arcane. Alright, let's get over with the weapons. We have an Iron Roundshield with Golden Parry. This is one of the better parries in the game. You can do it at a slight distance or up close like a normal parry. I do not think this is the one that, gets rid of projectiles. If you wanted to use like the... I think it's called like Thop's parry or the Carrion parry in general. You can use that. And we have a Cold Bastard Sword plus 25 with Stamp Uppercut. You can also use one of the Carrion Ash of Wars for this. But just make sure it's a Frost infusion. For reasons, Frost does decrease enemy defense by, I think, 20%. And now we're going to get into another weapon, which is the Backhand Blade. I just put this with a Blood Infinity at plus 24. I put it at plus 24 because, not only did I not have enough Ancient Stones to put it to 25, but this is not his main weapon of choice, so I kind of think it's fitting that it's not all the way completed. And we have Blind Spot for this. The weapon has pretty good running attacks, so you can just keep doing it over and over and over again. So, that's pretty cool. And with the fast amount of movements this thing does, you may proc a bleed pretty easily. And then, of course, we have the Black Knight Twin Blade. This thing is just super cool in general. I like the design of it. But the Ash of War is, of course, the Crucible Wings, like we saw in the trailer against Mesmer. But I know what you're wondering. I think he's missing something for that. Yes, the Dueling Shield. He used this in the trailer, and I didn't want to just swap shields constantly. So, you know, the dueling shield, it has no skill, so you can actually do the cinematic shot. That was a very bad camera angle. Of course, the dueling shield also is a weapon, so you can just do this. That's not how slow the shield is. It's actually pretty fast. But when you delay your attacks a little bit, it also blocks. You can also block and attack at the exact same time. And I put Blood Infinity on it because I don't know what the heavy scaling on this is, but I feel like that wouldn't be enough. So, you know, I just put Bleed on it. And I know this is probably where the accuracy kind of falls off, but I have a Clawmark seal because it is one of the earliest free seals you can get. It also doesn't require a lot of stats to actually use. I think you can actually use this seal with a level 1 character. Oh yeah, you definitely can. At plus 25, you get B scalings in Strength and Faith, which is why I'm using this one specifically. We have Golden Vow, for obvious reasons. We have Flame Grant Me Strength for an additional buff. Flame Cleanse Me, because if you are poisoned or Scarlet Rotted, it's just kind of easier to do this than looking through your inventory and eating a bolus. We have Order Healing to get rid of any Death Blight buildup, or, well, it's mostly just buildup, because if it does go through, you just die. Bestial Vitality, because, you know, who doesn't like health regen? And now for our defensive incants, we have Black Blade. We are the ones who bring death back into the world, so I feel like this is fitting for him to use. We have Crucible Thorns, which he in fact did use in the trailer cinematic. It's not that good. It's mostly good for crowd control. And we have Black Flame Ritual. This was the one I was skeptical of the most. Just because, like, we run into the Godskins, both variants, and even both of them at the same time, multiple times. I figured he would probably be able to catch up on some of the actual rituals that he uses. Sorry, that they use. I'm dumb. Please forgive me. Alright, and let's look at our physic real quick. For my physic, I have the Stone Barb Crack tier, just so we can break stances a little bit easier. We have the Green Burst Crystal tier for stamina regen, which is a bit obvious. For multiplayer, and for myself in general, I just go 12-2. We need quite a bit of heals, and we don't need too many blue flasks. If you're not comfortable with that amount, you can go like 10-4. You know, 10 heals, 4 magic flasks. I just prefer this because I like to heal a lot, and in, like, you know, when you're summoned to other people's worlds, your flasks are cut in half. This way you get like 6-1 instead, and if you were to do 10-4, you would get 5 heals and 2 blue. And now we can just look at our talismans here. We got the Shot of Alexander, which will boost all of our combat skills by 15%. We have the Two-Handed Sword Talisman, which will make our attacks, when two-handing, do more significant damage. We have the the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman for more stamina recovery speed, and we have the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman for physical defense. This armor is pretty good in physical defense. It's not the best, though, so that's why I have this. And if you're facing anything that does significant, like, elemental damage, let me see if I can find these. Like, let's say you're fighting, like, a mage, you can use the Spelldrake Talisman +3 for the most magic negation. If you're facing Mesmer or Bale, you can use the Flame Drake or the, you know, the Bolt Drake Talismans. You know, Flame Drake for Mesmer, Bale is optional. If you're facing Consort, you can use the physical and this. Or if you're just afraid of elemental damage in general, or like chip damage, you can use the Pearl Drake Talisman +3 in addition to the Dragon Crest. This is only if you just don't need a bunch of stamina regen and are just comfortable with not using it. And I hope people like this. I know my character's a bit over-leveled. If you wanted to just go to level 200, you'd have to get a little creative yourself. You wouldn't have to go to 99 strength. You wouldn't have to go to all that shit. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoy your Tarnished, or if you have any other suggestions I should use, just put them in the comments.